This video was made possible with support from viewers like you. If you find this video useful, consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/FastGadgets. Welcome back, Gadgeteers. If you're a MacBook or MacBook Pro owner, MacBook ages 2015 and up and the Pro age 2016 and up, apparently you really enjoyed my video regarding the keyboard issue, so I have released another video that updated that issue, but this is going to be my third and final video about the keyboard issues with the MacBook Pros and the MacBooks, and I'm only referring to the newer ones with the butterfly keyboard specifically. So here's the thing. Now, many of you have experienced issues with your keyboards, and I want to say for the record there was some confusion apparently because I cut away to another YouTube user's video regarding whether or not I was having problems, and the answer is no, I have never had any problems with my MacBook 2015 refurbished model or my MacBook Pro 2017 model. Now, the 2017 has a version 2 keyboard, which does much better with controlling dust issues and problems with the keyboard, and at least at this point are on par with the 2015 MacBook Pro, which was of course an excellent model, and the last one that used the chiclet keyboard, which did not really have that many problems, but it had a small percentage that was actually experiencing keyboard issues, just like the 2017 model. On the other hand, if you had a 2015 MacBook or a 2016 MacBook Pro, both of those had the version 1 keyboard, and many people have been having problems with those, enough that I've had thousands of comments on that first video I made. Now, I will link both videos down below, and I'll have a link come up here for the first and second videos as we're going through and talking about keyboard issues. But what I wanted to talk about today was the keyboard replacement program and how long do you actually have to get a keyboard replacement if you're experiencing problems, and it's a little bit deceiving. Now, you may have heard on the news that you do have 4 years in which to get a keyboard replaced. That's not entirely correct. You actually have 4 years from the release date of the model that you have when it was released in retail. So if you have a MacBook 2015, for example, you actually only have 1 more calendar year that you can submit your MacBook in for repairs in the event that you're having a problem with it. Try to keep that in mind, that you don't actually have 4 years. Now let's take a look, and we're going to read through and talk about the keyboard service replacement program. Apple determined that there was a small percentage, but based on the number of comments, I'm sure there are more than they're letting on. So what are some of the problems you can have? Well, letters or characters will unexpectedly repeat. Letters or characters do not appear. The keys feel sticky or don't respond in a consistent manner. So that's the 3 basic symptoms that you're going to experience that might lead you to believe you have to send this in. I recommend trying some canned air first before you waste your time sending it in. It might be literally 1 speck of dust that you can remedy by blowing it out. So try that first and see what happens. Here's the thing. Here are the eligible models right from the MacBook Retina 12-inch early 2015 through to the MacBook Pro 15-inch 2017. Now, you may be asking, why isn't the MacBook 2018 on here? Well, the reason is, of course, the MacBook Pro 2018 models have a version 3 butterfly keyboard, which has a small rubberized dome on each of the keys that protects it from getting dust and dirt and debris. The one thing, I'm looking at that keyboard and it looks like the dome doesn't cover 100% of the area underneath the key. So we'll see how good the version 3 keyboards will last. Here's the thing, if you do the keyboard replacement program and replace your keyboard on one of your older systems, you're essentially going to get either a newer refurbished version 1 keyboard if you have a MacBook or MacBook Pro with version 1, or a version 2 keyboard if you have a MacBook Pro or MacBook that has the version 2 keyboard. So you're not going to get the latest keyboard, and that is really unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Now, the service process, here's the deal. You either have to go to an Apple authorized service provider, which you can look in your particular state or area and see if you can find any. You can make an appointment at any of the Apple retail stores, which cracks me up that you have to make an appointment, but okay. Or you can mail in your device to an Apple repair center, which is something I would probably do, to be honest. Now, I want to repeat again, I haven't had any problems with my MacBooks, but we'll go into that in a minute. They recommend doing a backup. This makes perfect sense. There are apps that are on the MacBook to do a backup. There's really no excuse for it. You got to keep in mind that there's no telling what will happen to these systems when you send it in. They shouldn't tamper with the motherboard, which of course the solid state drive is soldered on, but it's possible. You never know. So if you really have something precious on there, do a backup. I was in Best Buy the other day and they had a 4 terabyte drive, Western Digital, for $99. So there's just no excuse for not getting yourself a portable drive. You can get 2 terabyte for half that price just about, and do some type of backup on your system before you send it in. When you send it in, it's hard to say how long it will take. I've heard people saying it took a week. I've heard some say a few days. I've heard some say 2 weeks. So you're going to have to be patient if you do decide to send it in. But the problem here is at the bottom. The program covers eligible MacBook and MacBook Pro models for 4 years after the first retail sale of the unit. So if you're having a problem with your MacBook 2015 and you just were putting it off and you weren't really that concerned about getting it in right away because you were just making do with whatever problem you were having, I recommend sending it in. You're going to want to get that keyboard replaced now while you can. The question comes, of course, back here I've got my 2015 MacBook, and it's running great. I haven't ever had a problem with the keyboard, and the same goes with my 2017. Now, as I'm looking at the keyboard, I actually see dust and dirt on there right now. So, will I get rid of the MacBook or the MacBook Pro in consideration of the problems they're having, especially with version 1? I don't think so. First of all, I bought this as a refurbished MacBook, and the price I got was really good, and it's been fine. It's less than a year old, at least. Let me rephrase that. I've had it for less than a year. Now, one of the things that I do with my particular MacBooks is I try to take really good care of them, meaning I keep them clean. I make sure that they're clean when I stow them away, and I try to keep as much dust off them as possible. So usually when I'm going to put away my MacBook, I'll clean the screen and try to ensure that there's nothing on the keyboard. I wonder if the people having the problems with the keyboard are perhaps not cleaning it as much as they could. I don't want to say that the people having problems are pigs or anything like that. I mean, it obviously doesn't take very much, and at any given time, it's possible I could begin to have a problem with this particular MacBook or my MacBook Pro. So, no, I will not be getting rid of the 2015 MacBook or the 2017 MacBook Pro. I think with proper maintenance, it is possible to manage the problem. If it becomes too extreme, of course, I'll send them in right away because that warranty is running down. So if you're having a problem with your keyboard right now, send in your MacBook or MacBook Pro now, get it fixed, especially if it's a 2015 model, because who knows, you might need to send it in more than once, unfortunately. There are some that have sent in their computer for repair. Within weeks or months of getting it back, they've had the same problem surface again on other keys, and they've had to send it in again. Most of the people that I hear about on these videos are the ones that have something to complain about, and I think it's a valid thing. All the other computers that I've had up to this point, I never had to worry about keyboard issues. If something became stuck under one of my keyboards, I could pop the key off and blow it out with canned air, or just blow it out with canned air and never pop the key off. And it was a simple, easy, quick fix, and that's the way it really should be. We shouldn't have to worry about this kind of garbage, and that's my opinion. I think it's a bad design that Apple's created. And you know it's a bad design when it costs $700 out of warranty to get something like this fixed. That's absolutely ridiculous, and also you can't fix yourself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Fast Gadgets.